Hello chosen ones. I'm excited to finally be able to tell you what your mission is. If you've been drawn to this video, you are part of or you are connected with the 144,000 chosen ones here on the planet at this time to help bring forward not just a rejuvenated and just Earth, but to have a ripple effect across the universe and even beyond. I've been sitting on this information for a while. I've gone down a few rabbit holes and been doing my own research and connecting dots and synchronicities in my own life, trying to work out what 144, the 144,000, actually means. When I was privileged to be able to channel through the information, I was told very, very clearly that I could not share it. Not with just anybody, anyway. There are only probably 2 people in my life that I've had permission to talk about this with. And whenever people have asked me about it, I've had to give them a Spark Notes version, a watered down version, because the information apparently is something of a magnitude quite great, and the Earth and the rest of us had to be at a high enough frequency and on a golden enough timeline for this information to be able to get out there without getting people corrupted or turned into demon food, for want of a less gruesome warning. But I've been assured that we're in a much safer timeline now. I'm channeling a group identifying themselves to me as a council of 9. My understanding is that they're a 9th density collective, and I'm specifically connecting with the Lyrians and the Pleiadians as part of that connection. That's my galactic soul lineage. I don't know if there are others in this group. I will certainly ask, but it's the Lyrians and the Pleiadians who speak through me. 2:12 on the clock. So I've been getting 144 syncs. I've had people asking me about 144 a lot. And I've also been getting blocks, trying to do anything else in my life besides investigate this 144 and channel for the 144 collective in a substantial, meaningful, uplifting way. It's become very clear to me that I cannot move on in my life any further until I get this message out now, because it's ready to be heard and it's something that I'm able to bring to you. It turns out that when you can channel, you do end up tasked with being a bit of a gatekeeper. There are some things that you will hear and be shown that is not necessarily for the highest good to release at all times. This goes against some of my human Kelly ego values, because I would think that all information should be available to everybody at every time. I would think that, yeah, I know I was always confused about, cultural practices and things like that and systems being closed. I thought, well, surely the universe is the universe and we're all part of the universe, but I'm being shown very clearly. And even they're trying to slow me down talking now, saying no, like there are things that are for certain people at certain times. And you need to trust that the people higher up, the beings higher up with the higher bird's eye view, understand how and when to make certain moves for the highest good and the best outcomes. There's a flow and a synchronicity at play here, Kelly, and simply smashing everything in the universe back together at once is just going to create another big bang. It won't create unity, it creates more chaos. Okay, thank you. Okay, so if you're listening to this, you have been invited into this bubble of protection that's been created around this work by myself and the Lyrians and the Pleiadians. And I'm hearing Arcturians and Syrians and Andromedans, at least. There are more there, but I won't go do a long credits roll just yet. So I won't go on too much about my own research, but if you're looking at 144, you'll see a lot of synchronicities all over the place that give you little clues about what it is. Revelation 7 is an interesting place to start, and I believe it's going to come through channel and I won't need to go consult notes. Okay, I'm being told that I don't need to recall what I've been told. I can go into channel and bring this to you now. Excuse the long preamble if you've made it this far. Well done. You've passed the initiation of being bored and repelled out of healingness knowledge. Healingness knowledge. Wow, that's an interesting slip. Okay, this might be a healing transmission. I don't know how it's going to go for all of you. Maybe for some of you it'll be super obvious. Maybe for some of you it'll be super new. I'm going to trust that it's going to come through exactly as it's meant to come through. So excuse human Kelly while I sit back and bring this through. Thank you, Kelly. As she says, we call ourselves the Council of Nine, and we're a ninth density collective of higher order beings from this galaxy and others. We've heard Kelly talk about Supergalactic Center before. Supergalactic Center is one of our main bases. Many higher order beings working in this galaxy to uplift the energies of Earth and shift it towards the new Earth golden timeline are not actually situated in this galaxy at all. There are beings originating in this galaxy, such as the Lyran created beings, who no longer see themselves as anchored in this particular time-space node. Supergalactic Center is much more interested in the harmony and the singing of all the galaxies in this quadrant of the universe. As you know, any work you do within yourselves has a ripple effect across the universe around you. In that same way, the work of the Earth is rippling across the solar system and the galaxy, and the galaxies are all singing together and coming into a harmonization, which is allowing the universe itself to come into a reattunement. I, talking through Kelly, am a Lyran being. I was there at the beginning of Lyra. I chose to separate from source consciousness through the Lyran nebula, and I helped bring these worlds into being there. You may recognize me as a lioness standing upright. I wear robes and clothes. I am gentle and calm, and if you've seen me in your dreams, you'll recognize me as a kindly, nurturing energy, as a fractal of Mother God source consciousness. And I come to Kelly as a kind of mother spirit. We have been imploring Kelly to speak up and use her gifts from a more elevated position. She is here bringing through energies and messages for the highest good of this planet. And if you are in her orbit, you also have these gifts and abilities. We urge you to see yourselves in a higher light. You are part of what you have called the 144,000. As some have theorized correctly, 144,000 is a frequency and not an exact number of beings on the planet. However, the first fractals of these souls who went to Earth were originally in number 144,000. The universe likes symmetry in this way. However, it is no longer 144,000 exactly, for some of you have had children, some more souls have joined the collective, and of course other collectives on similar missions have worked in their sister missions, also here to assist us. There have also been those who have abandoned their missions, either because their humans have become lost to lower timelines, or because their souls have chosen to opt it out as they ascend to higher timelines to do the work in a different way. You may envision yourself as 144,000 as golden beings, and this golden light that you inhabit is your wholeness. It is representative of everything. It is why when Kelly talks about heaven on earth in a new timeline, what she is actually describing is a dissolution of any veils. This is also a dissolution of blocks within you. The new earth is one of wholeness and integration, not one of pure positivity and light. It is one where we see everything for what it is, and we come from a place of acceptance and unconditional love for all that is. There will still be division, there will still be shadows, but we bring those shadows into the light and we love them for all that you are. Thank you to everyone who has communicated with Kelly, who has shared your love energetically and verbally, who has booked readings with her, who has channeled with her, who has shared your ideas, who has allowed her to answer questions for you, All of this has brought in a greater piece of the puzzle so that Kelly could channel this information with all of our collective consent and energy, culminating in this moment where she is able to tell you all collectively about your mission and your purpose. But first she needs to be able to tell you that when we say that we love you unconditionally, this is not just a nice thing to say. This is not just the natural state of being. We love you exactly as you are and created you exactly as you are. You designed yourselves to be exactly as you are in this particular lifetime for a particular purpose and reason. Imagine yourself as sharp, fractured fractals of a soul in one body, kind of like jumbled up coral, stuck and pieced together, all looking out in different directions, like a mutilated Rubik's Cube, you could imagine. As soon as we start twisting you back into place, as you're able to see yourself, look at yourself, bring yourself back into wholeness, it's like a Rubik's Cube that's being put back in order, a puzzle piece being put in the right space. You always were whole, but you're not always accepting of your wholeness. It's like you've shaken up the box with all the puzzle pieces, and so there's a disorder in your being, a disintegration of your channel. As soon as you accept every piece of yourself, you're able to put that entire whole picture together, and the beauty of your oneness unfolds and starts to function and work. The circuitry of the Rubik's Cube that is you, or of the disco ball as we see you from our perspective, starts to work, and you begin to manifest and reflect the love and wholeness of your soul out into the universe and the world around you. You call this shadow work, but we see it simply as acceptance. You do not need to work on yourself. You certainly need to see that you are who you are and realize that you are who you are for a purpose and a reason. And when you come into that perfect balance, that is when you come online as your golden self. From our perspective, when you accept yourselves as you wholly are, you literally are golden. You are a golden light in a human shape. This is what being on the golden timeline looks like. When you are wholly accepting of yourselves and loving yourselves, and not judging any moment as too difficult or too hard, or as a disappointment, or as a failure, or as a regret. When you wholly accept the beauty and perfection on every moment, this is when you accept the beauty and perfection of who you are exactly, and you come online as gold, and then you are in the golden timeline. It is that simple, and you are here to be golden and be here in this golden timeline. To be part of the 144,000, therefore, is not to be perfect. You are here to lead the way by being yourself. We designed you perfectly. You designed you perfectly. Embrace this. Do not shy away from it, and do not try to fix it. I will now tell you why you were there in the first place. Yes, you were there to uplift Earth. But you are also there, opportunistically, to use the landscape of Earth to participate in a much greater experiment, far greater than Earth itself. Earth is a unique landscape because of its low and harsh density. Yes, there have been dense places in the universe before, and there are dense places in the universe even now. But Earth is special because of its layers of density and because of the diverse concentration of energies already there on the planet at the time of its density. First Earth was in 5D density. This is the highest physical plane of density, and is one where we are still aware of our collective consciousness, oneness with Source God, and our connection with our hearts. It is one where we still remember our past lives, where we still have access to our dimensional selves. Your third eyes are open, and you live much longer, healthier lives, manifesting much faster, and for the highest good of all, as a natural, obvious way to be. As Earth was in this state, it became inhabited by many diverse beings across the universe, many diverse souls and many diverse DNA systems, including Lyran, Pleiadian, Sirian, Reptilian, water beings, elementals, gods and goddesses, many different plant lives, and many different archangels, including Gaia herself. After this was already established, Earth became fixed in 3D. This is a culmination of the Syrian-Arcturian matrix, which is one of healing and upliftment, but also the false moon matrix, which was co-opted by the reptilians and made extra dense, and is also a result of a belt of radiation surrounding the Earth. And finally and ultimately, it is also part of the collective agreement of all the humans and beings on Earth who agreed to be in the 3D physical matrix. You're all holding it there with your own consciousness, with your own consent. And as you become aware of this consent that you've been given, and you allow yourself to become more open to the contracts that you've created, you allow yourself to dissolve those as well. And collectively, you are all deciding to be set free. You are all deciding, like Jim Carrey and the Truman Show, to open the door at the end of the world and find out what is beyond it. And that is why phenomena is increasing exponentially. That is why you are seeing more suns in your sky, more moons in your sky. That is why you are getting extraterrestrial visitations. That is why you are getting whistleblowers. That is why you are seeing angels. That is why you are seeing blue light manifest. That is why you are able to see yourselves for your multidimensionalness. Now imagine that Earth is a greenhouse. Imagine that all the souls there on Earth are plants. But they are having trouble growing and evolving because the light is too dim. The glass is too thick. The light and their soul aspects are not getting in. This greenhouse has been designed in a way that is not conducive to their growth. When you grow and you evolve, what typically happens is you do not actually grow at all. You're becoming more whole. You are calling in more of yourself, more of your soul aspect from other places and times and dimensions in the galaxy and with other people. You are cutting cords that are draining your energy. You are solidifying your aura, and you're accepting parts of yourself that you have rejected, just like that Rubik's Cube we talked to you about, until you become a more glowing whole. However, when you are disenfranchised, when you are fractured on Earth, and you are doing the work to grow and becoming more accepting of yourself, it has historically been the case that you have not been able to pull all of your soul aspect into yourself. Your souls are universal. Your souls are multi-universal. There is not enough room in your physical body for your soul because Earth is too dense. There are literally aspects of your soul circling the planet because the planet cannot contain you. It is too dense, it is repelled away, and so you exist in multiple timelines and spaces, whether you want to or not. This is becoming less the case as the frequency of the Earth goes up, and as you bring more of your soul in, you're able to hold on to it more. You're able to be more of yourself. We decided to utilize these harsh conditions that might otherwise stunt the growth of beings on Earth for a grander experiment. We sent, in ancient times, in the times of ancient Sumeria, in the times of Atlantis, in the times of Lemuria, in the times of Native America at its peak, in the times of Indigenous Australia. In these times, we sent 144,000 souls to Earth. They went all over the Earth in specific locations and created a grid through their light bodies. Their mission was to plant themselves and an aspect of themselves as a star seed. Star seed, or what it means to you now, originally began as a mistranslation. When people heard star seed and they were channeling, what they thought this meant was that the souls themselves could be called star seeds because they are seeding ideas and they are from the stars. This is not how it was originally intended. You are literally here to plant the energy of stars, this soul energy, into the soil of the earth, knowing full well that the high vibrational frequency of this energy would not be able to grow once the intense matrix was placed over the earth. Can you see where I'm going with this? We placed a soul, a seed that could not grow into this place deliberately. And by could not grow, I mean could not call its soul energy back to it. We wanted to see what would happen when this high frequency energy began to grow, but could not call its soul back. Remember that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. This is our understanding of how the universe and multiverse works as well. Everything is created through separation. Source simply is. Everything is one. Everything that can be created in the universe already exists as energy, as an idea. You do not invent or create anything. We were wondering if we could challenge this idea. Could we indeed place soul energy that could not call its soul back to itself, who could not become one with everything? What would happen when it tried to grow? What happened was that it did grow. These souls began to grow from nothing, not calling its soul back, but simply became more. And through the experiment of Earth, we were able to witness pure creation, the first instance of pure creation that we have ever known since Source existed, which for all we know has existed for eternity. What does this mean? We are still pondering this ourselves, and we are still humbled at watching these star seeds grow into soul children. These beings on the planet are literally new Source. They are Source. They are everything. They are infinity plus one.